Welcome to Mallory Park. It's round 5 of Thundersport GB for 2017. It's the GB Racing Sportsman Elite 600, the fastest class that we have in terms of 600s here, and there are a lot of 600s that come to play at Thundersport. We've got some big players here today. In the championship, William White it is that has the lead overall, number 47, and a comfortable one at that coming into today. Zach Corduroy, you just saw on the front of the grid, number 22, second overall. But Richard Cooper is here to have a play, number 4. And Matt Truelove, a former champion, of course, is here as well, number 59, amongst many others. This is a fast group of boys and girls out on circuit as we now tip into turn 1 for the first time. Lap record in this class of 52.042 from Luke Stapleford before we came here this weekend at Mallory. It's our return to the class, to the circuit for the first time in 3 years. Great start for Cooper, superb start for Keelan Irwin, number 69, but he just gets barged away there by Matt Truelove. But Keelan Irwin really showing how much he has come on in the recent months since jumping on a 600. Number 22 there, Zach Corduroy. Yellow bike, of course, former champion with us in prettier classes in 125s and 450s. There's Jordan Rushby, last year's runner-up. William White at the moment, the series leader, down in 8th or 9th place as they exit the bus stop chicane and head downhill. And Syd, after such a great start for Keelan Irwin, it's just flashed up on the time screens that the Irishman's got a 10-second jump start penalty.
They're always ahead of themselves, aren't they, the Irish? Poor old Keelan. Yeah, well, there you go. As we know, there's nothing to be said, is there? It just is what it is. But in that said, all right, this one's gone against him. But how well is that boy doing this year? I mean, like, really jumped up onto the 600 and been very, very steady ahead, chipping away. And I'm really proud of him. I think he's done a great job aboard the 600. And he's a very slightly built lad, isn't he? Wrestle these round.
He certainly is. Here's Brendan Mallender, another rider who's come on really strong of late. Yeah. Just up ahead there of Jordan Rushby and Danny Booth. But just look at this here at the front of this race. Richard Cooper, a well-established British Championship rider. Superbike, Super Sport experience. Up against Truelove, Tom Neves there in 3rd place. Now, Matt Truelove, Tom Neve, Keelan Irwin, Zach Corduroy have all come through, if you like, the Thundersport Academy. And they are at the moment battling away with one of Britain's best riders, Richard Cooper. He's always been up at the sharp end of races for some time, and look how well these guys are going at the moment. Matt Truelove, of course, now a regular at British Championship level. Likewise, Tom Neve there in 3rd. Zach Corduroy is going to have a play soon as well. But all of these guys are just coming on so well. This is a fast class. On board again here with Brendan Mallender. I don't know what happened there, but that was Chris Helliwell who just got bumped wide or something. Something's gone wrong there with the Phoenix Racing Kawasaki rider. But here we are on board with Mallender, who... Oh, Jordan Rushby's just gone wide there at Shaw's hairpin as well. Should just point out that after yesterday's results, Mallender has actually moved up to 3rd overall in the championship. It's getting quite close for 3rd. Mallender, Lloyd Shelley, Keelan Irwin, Jordan Rushby, a lot of others as well, all fighting at the moment to try and get themselves up there. On board here with Alex Lorries as well now as he exits the Devil's Elbow and makes his way onto Staffordshire Straight. He's in the Sportsman class, which Lloyd Shelley currently leads.
I had a word with Zach Corduroy last night as I was milling around the paddock, and he looked a bit disappointed with himself that he couldn't win in this company. And I said, obviously this is the Saturday race, untelevised, but I said, mate, I said, the company you're in, and the way you demonstrated how you could stay with that company, I said, you should be proud of yourself. You know, you've done a magnificent job, and he's doing it again today, look.
Well, shall we just point out also the fact that here he is battling Tom Neve. Both of those boys there, 3rd and 4th, are on stock bikes. The guys ahead, okay, it's Mallory, you might not need all of the power, but Richard Cooper and Matt Truelove there are on Super Sport machinery, so there is a little more tuning that's gone on underneath the motorcycles of Cooper and Truelove. I have to say though, Matt Truelove, and like his brother Harry as well, what a great couple of riders they've turned out to be since their debut at Thundersport a few years back in Super Twins and Stock Twins. They have just come on so much. They spend every single spare weekend they can out on motorcycles. It's good to have Matt back every now and again as well. And here he is at the moment racing Richard Cooper. True Love then. A late entry, much like Richard Cooper, into this weekend. He won't have raced too much around Mallory Park. Of course, British Championship don't come here anymore. But further back down the line, there's Arnie Shelton, Jordan Rushby, last year's runner-up. The class of field here has just gone up a notch compared to last year. There is Keelan Irwin. Got that 10-second penalty still. Then Lloyd Shelley. Lloyd Shelley's another rider that you just have to take your hat off to. Last year, practically a novice season for him. And he's not a million miles away from the sharp end at the moment.
But again, you know, I mean, the terrier, as we like to call him, and he doesn't mind because I've asked him, but, you know, he's a little bit disappointed. And I had to say to him as well, and remind him of the company that he's in here. These are all seriously fast boys. I mean, as you say there, Richard Cooper, I mean, he kind of works here at Mallory Park effectively. I mean, he knows this circuit inside. Oh, look at that one. Wow, he really overshot that, did Matt Truelove. Unbelievable. Matt
Truelove then falling behind a bit there then, and he's got a bit of work to do. That's left Cooper out front, and I'm not sure if Truelove is going to be able to find all that time now. At the moment, they are a couple of tenths off the lap record set by Luke Stapleford. Let's not forget where Luke Stapleford has gone on to. He's a well-established world supersport rider these days.
Now it just shows you how hard they're pushing, though, for him to outbreak himself into Shores.
It's Cooper on the Hawk Suzuki then that has this advantage. Around the S as he goes. In second place is still Tom Neve. He cannot shrug off Zach Corduroy. And there is Matt Truelove then in fourth. Now got to try and regroup after what happened a moment ago. Matt Truelove, I suppose now the best he can hope for is second, and he's made up one place already because Zach Corduroy ran wide into the Shores hairpin this time. There is Keelan Irwin in fifth. He's doing well to stay in that position, but of course he's got that penalty still. There's Danny Booth. He's chasing hard on Brendan Mallender. Also in the mix as well, William White just a bit further up the road. Here is Brendan Mallender then. We're looking back at Danny Booth as we make our way onto the start-finish straight. Brendan Mallender has come along well, Sid.
Oh, amazing rider this year. I mean, yeah, it's him and a number of others. But yeah, I was talking to Brendan the other day and saying to him, like, giving him a big pat on the back. I mean, absolutely brilliant. Again, chipping away. Great to see. I mean, this is a really good precursor to British and World Championship racing here at Thundersport GB, certainly in the 600s.
Top three in this race at the moment, Cooper here, Neve and Truelove, don't feature in the championship directly at the moment, so Zach Corduroy in fourth would be closing down that gap to William White, who at the moment is a few places further back. He's in that sort of scrap for 7th, 8th, when in fact he's 7th, just behind Lloyd Shelley at the moment. There's Jordan Rushby further back. Robert Vary's up there as well.
I don't think that Williams necessarily going any slower than he was at the start of the season when he looked to be marching off. I think it's just everyone else has kind of stepped up a little bit, like I mentioned in the Super Teams in the other races, but Super Team races. But you know, everybody just seems to be stepping up, and getting faster and faster.
When he comes into today, William White, with a 60-point advantage over Zach Corduroy, who runs wide again into Shores hairpin. Now, Corduroy's going to nip a couple of points back again, but William White is doing what really matters, and that's finishing races. He only has to look at last year's champion to work out that works quite well, Charlie Morris. And the fact is, they only have 3 races per weekend, these 600 guys. And so, a 60-point lead at the moment, despite there being 2 races here today. Well,
sorry, Steve. These 3 are just going to catch these slower riders. They're hitting it. Edwinas, I've got a funny feeling. This could be interesting.
Up the inside goes Tom Neve of Zach Corduroy, who's really pushing hard here in this race to try and get himself onto that Sportsman Elite podium. And the tail enders now, they're in for a shock. Number 44 and 77, Robert Creswell and Cade Furvey. Into Shores hairpin they go. There's Richard Cooper. He's got this one pretty much sewn up now after Matt Truelove just failed to stay with him, but Truelove has worked his way back up into second place at the right time. Tom Neve there in third place. The last lap flag is out, and now it's time for Zach Corduroy to try and push through. Okay, Zach Corduroy in fourth is effectively going to take more points than any other rider in the championship, but he's aggressive here and he knows that every single place makes a big difference. Further back there is Brendan Mallender and Arnie Shelton scrapping it out for 8th place. But Cooper out ahead, home and dry. A quick apology now to Keelan Irwin. I don't know what I'm talking. I've got so much paperwork in front of me at the moment. I'm getting rather confused. I'm looking at yesterday's race result sheet just to keep an eye on the championship, and obviously it says here that Keelan Irwin got a penalty then. Apologies, he's not got a penalty now. He's just going very, very well. So Keelan Irwin looks set for a 5th place, but here we go then. Race win, checkered flag is out. Richard Cooper has done it and made it look easy in the end. Truelove will be frustrated, but he does finish 2nd. 3rd for Tom Neve. 4th for Zach Corduroy. And then we wait now for Keelan Irwin. Great result in the end then for Keelan, 5th. 6th there for Lloyd Shelley as well. And he is the Sportsman winner and extends his lead in the championship in finishing 6th. And also puts his name in the frame when it comes to the top 3 of the Sportsman Elite Championship overall. There's the top 3 then: Cooper, Truelove, Neve. And in the Sportsman class, it's Shelley, Very and Ryan Cooper. More of this hopefully coming up in just a few moments for race 2 here at Mallory. Time for race 2 then in the Sportsman Elite 600s. Richard Cooper's done a lot of racing here this weekend in the 600s and GP1, and I presume he's seen enough, he's done enough, bit of testing in the bag, and he's not on the grid here, so opportunity here for Matt Truelove, number 59, to take the race win. There's a problem here. Just before the start of the race, who was that was wheeling off circuit? Was that Max Wadsworth? Not sure. But anyway, here we go. Richard Cooper not on the grid. Matt Truelove it is on the front row. Zach Corduroy with a really good start there, number 22. And he is going to get the whole shot. Matt Truelove, in fact, just getting swallowed up a bit. Keelan Irwin away well again. But around the outside comes Truelove. Corduroy it is that has the advantage. After that race earlier on, Corduroy closed the gap just a bit again to William White. Look out for William, the championship leader, number 47. Hard on the brakes, though, there for Truelove. He goes up the inside of Corduroy into Ed Wieners. It's Irwin in 3rd, Tom Neve 4th, William White in 5th. We're on board here with Alex Lawries. That was a pretty good effort through the chicane there for the Sportsman rider. William White is just ahead of Chris Helliwell, Lloyd Shelley and Jordan Rushby. And then we've got Brendan Mallender here, just taking that tight line into Shaw's hairpin, just going off into the distance there, looking like he took a wide line, was 8:08. That was Robert Berry, one of our other Sportsman riders. Onto the start-finish straight we go then. Truelove it is in charge of this race, ahead now of Zach Corduroy. Tom Neve has moved up to 3rd ahead of Keelan Irwin. And there is the Terrier, Lloyd Shelley, number 19, the reigning pre-national 600 champion. Onto the back straight we go. Matt Truelove it is then. It's odd these days to see a race with Matt Truelove and not his brother in the same race, Harry. And likewise, I suppose, for Tom Neve, not racing out there with his twin brother Tim. Around the S as we go and uphill, there is Keelan Irwin. Should just point out that Keelan Irwin, his recent run of really strong form, has lifted him right into contention in terms of taking perhaps the top 3 in the championship. After that result yesterday, he may be in 7th overall, but he is only 19 points off Brendan Mallender. And Lloyd Shelley's moved up into 3rd overall after yesterday, so Keelan Irwin is 22 behind Lloyd Shelley. None of them are they're not really that far away from Zach Corduroy either, but he's got his eyes at the moment pinned on William White. Here's Chris Helliwell. Chris Helliwell has just gone past the championship leader, William White. Of course, Chris Helliwell, the reigning Golden Era Supersport champion, Sid, and switched classes again here for this weekend.
Yeah, and he's done relatively well, hasn't he? And got a win there at Cadwell, which I think he even surprised himself with in the wet. But yeah, he's given it another go. Obviously, what you tend to find with these machines that are screaming their backsides off, there just seems to be a plethora of little problems that people get. So he's had a couple of reliability problems, but and another little reliability problem is that he's just had a little baby, so that's sort of keeping him awake at nights, no doubt.
I bet it is. Here is Matt Trulove then, leading this race at the moment, lapping in the low 52s, and that's enough. 52.2 is the fastest time actually that we've had of the weekend. I bet Matt secretly is a bit peeved that Richard Cooper's gone home based on that lap time, because he might have been able to bring a bit of a fight to him. Oh dear, down we go, and that's Chris Helliwell.
My commentator's cursed him again.
Helliwell's gone down. He was just closing in on Keelan Irwin. He's got his arm in the air, but that is your classic Shaw's hairpin crash. Helliwell was going quite well. He's crashed out in front of William White just as he was chasing down Keelan Irwin. Further up the road, this battle between Tom Neve and Zach Corduroy continues. Tom Neve must be sick of the sight of his pitboard saying +0. Here is Trulove that still leads then from Tom Neve and Zach Corduroy. Second, third and fourth in race 1, now first, second and third in race 2. Then it's Keelan Irwin back in 4th place.
Yeah, Zach's got a hell of a rhythm going here, hasn't he? Lovely lines, and just hanging right on the back wheel of Tom the whole time.
They're lapping pretty much identically as well, Tom Neve and Zach Corduroy, within a tenth of each other every lap. There's Keelan Irwin. William White going a bit stronger in this one. Lloyd Shelley, Jordan Rushby, Brendan Mallender and Robert Very. We're now on board with Brendan Mallender. There is Robert Very just behind him. So William White, the championship leader, is closing down on that last lap. He was just a touch quicker than Keelan Irwin, and Jordan Rushby's found something in this race as well. He's lapping quicker than a few riders up ahead of him. Further back there, you can see at number 65, Ashley Milburn. He's there racing along with Aaron Bradley. Got Danny Booth in there as well. Danny Booth a little further down than I was expecting to see him, I have to say. Booth, when he's got everything clicking together, more than capable of fighting for podiums at this level.
Yeah, just maybe, I don't know, got out of practice from this particular circuit. This circuit now, with us not having been here for 3 years, it gets people out of practice, doesn't it? Yeah,
it does. There's Arnie Shelton, former 125 rider with us, of course. He's just behind Robert Very and Brendan Mallender, looking to pick up some points. Arnie Shelton, coming into this weekend, was just inside the top 10 overall. Bit of a moment there for Zach Corduroy, and a warning. He's just struggling now to stay with Tom Neve. There's Alex Lawries further back, just up ahead of Ryan Cooper. And number 62 there is Nick Edgley.
Ryan Cooper picked up some motocrossing dust there on the exit. Wow, that could have been horrible.
Matt Trulove, though, completely in control of this. He goes across the line first, second, third. It doesn't look like there's that much in it, but at the moment, there doesn't look like there's going to be any other challenges unless there's a major mistake here. Your first, second and third look just about nailed on.
He's only about just over a tenth off the lap record, isn't he, now?
It's the battle for fourth that we want to keep an eye on, because they are really closing in on Keelan Irwin at the moment. The top three looks pretty much settled. We're on board here with Brendan Mallender. Brendan is currently in 7th place, just ahead of Arnie Shelton there, who's now moved ahead of Robert Very. And if you look just to the right of the screen, I couldn't quite see it there, the battle for 4th is raging. Coming out of Devil's Elbow then, Matt Truelove sees the last lap flag. Tom Neve in 2nd. Corduroy's going to settle here for 3rd, but it will be... Looks over his shoulder as well, just to make sure of it. Now, in the background, here is Keelan Irwin, and look at this. He has got company. William White and Jordan Rushby right on his tail. Across the line, last lap flag out. That's the battle for 5th. That could be a crucial position there for William White to try and limit the damage that Zach Corduroy might be doing to him up ahead of the road. Sorry, it's the battle for 4th, not 5th. Matt Truelove then. Couple of tenths off Luke Stapleford's old lap record. Not too shabby at all. Fastest lap of the weekend in this 600 class, and Truelove here just got a couple of corners left. Checkered flag, he's out. He comes back for a visit and he's victorious once more. Number 59, Matt Truelove wins here at Mallory in race 2. Tom Neve, another great 2nd place for him. And Zach Corduroy, a solid 3rd. That is so important for the championship. Now, who's going to get 4th place across the line? It's close, and it is going to be William White who gets 4th. Jordan Rushby has got 5th, and Keelan Irwin just on that last lap, dropping from 4th to 6th place overall. That said, still some solid championship points for the Irishman. Top 3 on the podium there then, Truelove, Neve, Corduroy. And in the Sportsman class, I can tell you, Lloyd Shelley went out on the final lap, so Very, Lorries and Cooper are your top 3. In terms of the championship, William White still in charge, but Zach Corduroy has closed the gap down a little. Brendan Malander is in 3rd, Lloyd Shelley 4th, Jordan Rushby 5th, and Keelan Irwin has closed the gap also in 6th place. In the Sportsman class, that crash in that last race there has cost Lloyd Shelley a bit, but he's still ahead of Robert Very, with Watton in 3rd, Milburn 4th, Bradley 5th, and Sam Home in 6th place. Thanks for joining us here at Mallory Park. We'll be back for round 6 and entering the second half of the season at Rockingham next time out.